Hello and welcome to a brand new show, Decode the South, on the Filter Kaapi YouTube channel. This is the show, this is the one-stop shop where we will try and simplify the politics of South India and put it in the context of the social ethos and the economic ecosystem in this part of the country. Basically, give you perspective. Today in episode 2 of Decode the South, we are going to be looking at the school education system in Andhra Pradesh and all the controversies surrounding it. Should the 45,000 odd government schools in Andhra Pradesh continue to impart education, continue to teach children in the Telugu medium, or should they shift en masse to the English medium as the YS Jaganmohan Reddy government is seeking to do from the next academic year? In fact, today's newspapers have this front page ads issued by the Andhra Pradesh government where it very clearly says that English is to be the medium of instruction from class 1 to 6 standard in all government schools starting from the academic year 2020-21, and after which every year to the next higher class this English medium will be translated in all the 45,000 odd government schools. Apart from this, today the government also deciding that they will upgrade 15,700 out of those 45,000 schools in phase 1 by spending an amount of about 3,500 crore rupees to upgrade all those schools, get better amenities, improve the facilities in all these government schools. What I'm told is that education, especially school education, is going to be a huge thrust and priority area for the Jaganmohan Reddy government. It's part of their political agenda, and I believe that it is a very important decision, and despite all the criticism that is being thrown at them by the opposition parties, I think it's a step in the right direction, and I will tell you precisely why. But before that, I want to tell you an important story. Now, what happens is that every June, July at the start of the academic year, teachers in these government schools as well as sarpanches of villages are given a task by the education department. They need to go to the villages and convince the parents to send their children to the government schools in their area, even if they are studying either in a private school or if there are going to be fresh enrollments or children out of school, they try and convince those parents to send them to the nearest government school. Now, what also happens every time is that the same parents turn around and ask these teachers, and let me just give you a statistic, there are about 98,000 teachers in government schools in the 45,000 government schools in Andhra Pradesh. Now, the question that is asked to these 98,000 odd teachers is, where do your children study, or where did they study if they have already passed out of school? And invariably, and this is a statistic given to me by educators, more than 95% of the children of these teachers have not gone to a government school. They have gone to a private English medium school. So the question is obviously asked, if the government schools were not good enough for your children, why should it be imposed on the villagers? And this has always resulted in some kind of a conflict between the villagers and the school education department. In some cases in the past, we are told that there have been some kind of penalties which have been issued. Ration has been stopped to such families. The bus transport system to that particular village has been curtailed or stopped for a few days till they fell in line. So essentially, because there is this target system to be met, the schools, teachers and the sarpanches have to meet the targets imposed by the school education department. So they end up trying to force the parents. But again, the question that is always asked is, did your children go to the government school? So it has become a our children versus other children kind of an issue, and that is precisely what Jaganmohan Reddy also asked both Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan on National Education Day on the 11th of November. So now let's first look at the criticism that has been mounted by both Pawan Kalyan and Chandrababu Naidu. Pawan Kalyan making the point that Telugu should be the medium of instruction right from KG to the postgraduate level in Andhra Pradesh. Chandrababu Naidu making the point that while English is important for a professional career, ignoring Telugu would mean that you lose your identity and your touch with the culture on the ground over a period of time. This, according to me, is sheer hypocrisy. And Jaganmohan Reddy making that point that the villagers have been asking the teachers and the sarpanch, where will Chandrababu Naidu's grandson Devansh go? Will he go to a government Telugu medium school or will he go to a private English medium school? He also asked Pawan Kalyan, where did his children study, or where are his children studying, whether they are going to a government Telugu medium school or whether they are going to a private English medium school. So this is a very valid question, because many of these politicians, many of these leaders, whether it is Pawan Kalyan or Chandrababu Naidu or any opposition leader, having different yardsticks when it comes to their children and when it comes to the children of the poor living in the districts, 13 districts of Andhra Pradesh. And Jaganmohan Reddy driving home the point that is going to be equal opportunity for all. Everyone needs English to further their professional career in order to be able to compete in the big bad world, and English while keeping their touch with Telugu as their mother tongue, because it's not as though Telugu is going to be completely discarded. Telugu is going to be a compulsory language subject from class 1 to 10 in all the government and private schools in Andhra Pradesh. And of course, in cases where Urdu is the mother tongue, Urdu will be the optional language which they will learn. So it's not as though Telugu is going to be completely discarded, but these subjects like science and social studies, humanities, will be taught in English so that they are more proficient when they actually want to go out there and compete out in the world. So this is something which is a momentous decision taken by Jaganmohan Reddy, which needs to be supported. And according to me, what both Chandrababu Naidu and Pawan Kalyan or any other leader who is critical of the decision taken by Jaganmohan Reddy is basically being absolutely hypocritical, basically practicing double standards. Now, over the past few days, I have been speaking to educators who are familiar with what is happening on the ground in Andhra Pradesh. One of them being R. Venkat Reddy of the MV Foundation, which has done commendable work in the field of education, especially those of girl children. And what they are telling me is that, and I'll give you some statistics, that while there is a huge demand for the English medium schools even now, even before the Jaganmohan Reddy government decided to change the policy, because what is happening is that out of the 70 lakh students in class 1 to 10 in Andhra Pradesh, about 46 lakh is the number which go to English medium. Now this includes largely the private medium and a few government schools which are already English medium, which means only about 24 lakh students are studying in the Telugu medium. It is these students who need to be shifted out, and initially that will be done from the next academic year from class 1 to 6. Educators also say that there is actually a huge demand for English medium, as already been explained earlier with what the villagers have been telling the sarpanches and the teachers. Now the challenge is actually to prepare the 98,000 government school teachers who are presently employed to be able to train them to teach the students in English, and they need to be trained to shift seamlessly, monitor their progress, and also have quality control mechanism to ensure that they are able to impart the lessons in an efficient manner in English medium to the students. And that is going to be the biggest challenge as far as the school education department of Andhra Pradesh is concerned. Now, those who are batting for the Telugu medium also need to consider one more aspect, because there are close to about 15 to 20 tribal languages in different districts of Andhra Pradesh. Now for them, Telugu is as much of an alien language as English is, and what the experience of many of these people who are working in the education sector is that these tribal children, these tribal parents actually prefer their children to go to an English medium school rather than a Telugu medium school, because they realize that they will stand a better chance of making a living and doing better in life if they went directly to an English medium school, because as I said, Telugu is as much of an alien language for these children. And while we are talking about the government schools, it's not as though everything is hunky-dory even in the private school sector, because what we are also told, and this is part of a survey done by the school education department, that close to 60 to 70% of the quality of teaching in many of these private schools is also not up to the mark. So they need to upgrade. Even the private schools work in partnership with many of these private institutions after they take care of these government schools. So a major reform process is actually taking place as far as the school education system in Andhra Pradesh is concerned, and I think it deserves all the support at this point in time, because while it is all very fine to say that we love Telugu, that we need to have our connect with Telugu, which I think will be retained if they are going to be studying Telugu as a language or Urdu from class 1 to 10, which will mean that they will be able to read, write and speak good Telugu. At the same time, to be able to connect to the larger world through the medium of English is only going to serve the purpose better of this generation next of Andhra Pradesh as the years come by. So My compliments to the Jaganmohan Reddy government for undertaking this huge reform in the school education sector. They need the support, but the challenges are going to be many, because it's important that the teachers who are going to be imparting the education in English are trained well, so that they are not faltering, they are not falling short of the kind of huge expectations that have been built around this entire reform process in the school education system in Andhra Pradesh. Do subscribe to this channel if you like the video, because we are going to be decoding the South, the politics of the South, the developments in South India on a daily basis here on Filter Kaapi YouTube channel. So do subscribe, spread the word, press the bell icon so that you can get regular notifications, and thank you very much for joining us here.